alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible.
It was once just an idea until breaking ground in November of 2016, and now here it is in all its glory. Spectacular SoFi Stadium here in metropolitan Los Angeles. Today we start the new season with an AFC West Division battle right out of the gate between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway in Southern California. First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Carr. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Carr finding Waller there for the Vegas first.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. As an inside linebacker, got to be a little bit more poised.
No doubt about it, because they get a little bit of flexibility, especially when they're trying to stuff a gap. You know, we get that double A gap look. This time he got too eager and got too deep into the backfield.
In motion goes the tight end. Carr now to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They fake the handoff, now Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Davante Adams from 8 yards out. And the Raiders are on the board here first in the season opener. Excellent start there. First drive of the season, big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. And here's a 6-year man, Austin Eckler. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now it's 2nd and 9. Once more, here's Eckler. And the ball is knocked out.
You remember in preseason when we went to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there, big fumble. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a 1st down on the keeper. And this, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ballgame, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. That catch for his career is number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop it right around the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Herbert now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit. And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7. Throwing now is Carr. Looking deep for Adams. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. Looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try to throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On third down, here comes Jacobs. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. On the return, Carter. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Carr to throw. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. Fighting his way through contact. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. That one into the hands of Adams downfield. Touchdown, Raiders. Well, it's only week 1, CD, but right now this offense, they look in mid-season form.
And what we're seeing is the benefits of all their dedication in the offseason. OTAs, mini camps, preseason, you name it, they did it. All that work in preparation, we're seeing them play really well right now. They're making it all pay off.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
1st down, and they stick with Eckler. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the 1st half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Option play, and they'll give to Eckler. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Like like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. And maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least they have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Carr. Throw left side complete. That's Adams. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
A first down for Davante Adams in his first season with the Las Vegas Raiders. Over the previous 2 years in Green Bay, he led the NFL in receptions and touchdowns, and he's building off of a 123-catch, 1,500-yard season. Now, of course, in Raiders black and silver instead of Packers green and gold.
Carr to throw again. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
To throw again on second down. Carr delivering another one here to Darren Waller. He's got it again. And they'll get this down to the 10. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Now Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. again. It's Carr. Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. It's a foot race. The 30. 10. 5. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. Or what a play there. Make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
93.
Now Carr to try again after the pick 6. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. It's Eckler again. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
But what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Now a loose football. The ball comes out and picked up by the Chargers. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. Down inside the 10. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. Now he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Eckler taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Chargers have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. Now the Charger offense will stay on the field as they'll line up to go for the 2-point try. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. And in the 3rd quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for two too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And some room to run now. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 52 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. On play action, it's Carr. And his throw here's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Adams. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, They picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot, if that's what they want to do.
They go with Jacobs. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. On play action, now Carr. Rolling to his right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. To the running game with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Raiders have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. And he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. The Charger drive about to get going. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Herbert. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. He's got the first down and more. Look at the big fella go. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield.
And I think this is what the early proponents of the forward pass were thinking about. Get it to a receiver and have him do some work afterwards in order to create the big play we just saw there.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. It's caught here by Adams. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And that's complete to Adams. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And, partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Once again, it's Jacobs. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
There's some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
What now?
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now Carr. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now they pitch to Jacobs. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. So a big one coming now for Daniel Carlson. This to take the lead here in the final minute. The kick by Carlson is good, and the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Charger drive about to get going. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Herbert. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Herbert going to throw. He's going to let it fly. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders have just about sewn up this football game. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week